Good afternoon, folks. Janitor here, back with a second game in the IEM Intel Extreme Masters Tournament between White Raw and Roxas BratOK. White Raw taking the first game on Jungle Basin. Let's go ahead and get right into it. As I said before, this is the Intel Extreme Masters Tournament between White Raw and BratOK. BratOK spawning as the yellow Terran in the bottom left position, and White Raw spawning as the red Protoss in the top right position. So a couple of housekeeping things I would love to get out of the way. Once again, my name is Janitor. This is SC2 Janitor. I will be casting several more games just like these. I would absolutely love it if you guys subscribed and let me know how you think I'm doing. If you got any feedback you'd like to give me, please drop me a line or let me know either in the comments or by sending me a personal message. Doesn't really matter to me, just that you subscribe and keep watching, guys. I'm really excited about this, and I want to bring StarCraft to so many more people, and you guys are supporting this. Again, I am actually a caster for Hypercrew, do a lot of casting for their tournaments there. Hypercrew is a newer tournament hosting site for StarCraft 2. Got some really great players going there. As far as Root Gaming, the Root Gaming Guild, a lot of people go there for that and play quite a few tournaments, so pretty high level play there. I definitely suggest you check that out. But getting back into this game, White Rock scouting down here with this probe. I don't like that he skipped the Xel'Naga Tower, and also he's not checking for any cheese, so proxy barracks is pretty important to check for. A lot of proxy barracks go down right here at this gold expansion and behind these weeds here, so I would have preferred to see White Raw move out and check for that, but not very scared of it, and luckily for him, BratOK is not going for it, instead going for a more standard build, 10 supply depot, 12 barracks, and 13 refinery. In the meantime, White Raw throwing down a pylon in the corner of his base. Pretty odd spot. I would expect to see some hidden tech, as this is usually not a scouting pylon. Usually you place those right here to see for any weird tech coming your way, but I would expect White Raw to hide some tech over there. BratOK has not seen that yet. As you can see, he's not poking around in his base far enough. If he notices that there's only one pylon down, he might be able to do a little bit more scouting or something like that. But going back to BratOK's base, a tech lab going down on this barracks and a second barracks being added, so looks like he might be going for 2 barracks, maybe a third if he wants to put on some pressure, or he might just expand. So he's going to go ahead and get that Reaper out for some early scouting. Still has not seen this extra pylon down here. Could be interesting. Looks like White Ross is chrono boosting out that Stalker to force BratOK out of his base, so he will not be able to scout this hidden tech that I am sure will be coming. Looks like in the meantime, BratOK moving out with a Marine, grabbing that Xel'Naga Tower with both a Marine and an SCV. White Raw trying to do his best to hold that tower, but no, looks like BratOK just going to move back forward. He might get sniped off by this Stalker as long as the micro is good. He's moving forward just a little bit further, and that SCV will die. In the base here, a tech lab going down, and concussive shell almost finished as one Marauder on his way. This Reaper doing a little bit of scouting, trying to figure out what's going on. It looks like a probe coming down here to plant down some kind of tech. Yeah, it looks like a gateway, so we've got 2 gateways already up and a third one on the way. Expect to see a 4-gate from White Raw. Looks like, yeah, he does have a probe going down here and a proxy pylon, so yeah, White Raw might be going for a pretty standard gateway. It looks like this Stalker trying to poke up, but oh my gosh, concussive shell is done, and he will be able to pick off that Stalker. So a loss there for White Raw. A little sad that he lost that Stalker. Didn't want to lose it, but poking forward, that's what happens when concussive shell is done. In the meantime, BratOK starting up a command center. Looks like he might be trying to early expand off these 2 barracks, which you can do, but a little scary when a 4-gate is heading your way. Looks like BratOK trying to pick off this Stalker, but the Stalker moves out. Great reaction time there by White Raw. As gateway is finished, looks like he will be trying to get these gateways all up. As you see these warp gates morphing in, and this proxy pylon is going to be pretty big. As you see, 2 zealots warping in right then, and BratOK in a pretty decent position to defend these zealots, but if more units were down there, it would be a little bit more scary. Looks like White Raw is sending up these these two zealots, and this Reaper actually did spot this 4-gate, so he knows that the 4-gate is coming, and these two zealots need to pull back. I don't know what White Raw is doing. He's going to lose 2 free zealots there for BratOK. No, it looks like White Raw going to change his strategy here. He knows that Reaper saw this 4-gate happening, and instead of continuing the pressure, just decides to expand, knows that his 4-gate is shut down, and BratOK, knowing that a 4-gate is coming, looks at that proxy pylon, finds it, and will be able to snipe this out. So, yeah, looking like White Raw trying to play some mind games there with BratOK. Instead, White Raw just deciding to go ahead and expand, and hoping that BratOK will overreact to this. As you see, these 2 bunkers are down to prepare for a 4-gate, and this expansion is not out yet. So really interesting. Looks like the bunkers are being blown up. I would expect to see BratOK move out that command center as he gets more and more comfortable. Meanwhile, this Marine checking for any other hidden tech, hidden pylons. BratOK looking like he's expecting some kind of push, but so he's doing a little bit of scouting with his troops here to see if he can find it. And it looks like he is just going to go ahead and plop down that orbital command. This SCV going to get taken out by this Stalker. Won't be able to scout this expansion as BratOK doesn't know really what's happening. Might be a little bit confused here. Looks like this Marine might be able to pick off that probe unless White Raw has some good reaction time. Stalker coming in here to take out that Marine. So as I said, these Xel'Naga towers are really important. Let you know when pushes are coming. Always great to hold on to them the best you can. In the meantime, looks like a reactor was built onto that factory, and the starport now switching up. See 3 barracks and 2 starports, and I would expect to see BratOK throw down some more production buildings, as you can support more than 3 barracks and a reactor starport off of 1 base. So BratOK with stim and combat shield done. No, stim almost finishing. Combat shield hasn't even started yet. No, excuse me. It looks like combat shield just starting. So he just got concussive shell here. It looks like he's poking forward. Maybe going to put on a little bit of pressure by White Raw. See what he's up to. He does scan. The scan did go down. Now knows that expansion is up, and knows that he can sit pretty comfortably with no hidden tech coming his way. Great job scouting that. In the meantime, White Raw warping in a Templar archives, and expect to see that storm being researched here pretty soon. In the meantime, looks like BratOK is going to stick on this heavy marine play as an engineering bay is going, or excuse me, not heavy marine, but heavy infantry play as that engineering bay is going down. Looks like he will take out these destructible rocks to get ready for a 3rd expansion. If he takes it now, that would be a really fast 3rd expansion, but I don't know. We'll see what's happening here. White Raw with a big group of, this is a pretty big army. If we take a look at the army values here, pretty even actually right now for both players, as they are both macroing up pretty consistently, and a scan going down there for BratOK. Great timing on that scan. Knows that there are High Templar out, and in response, looks like he's throwing down, if I can find it, throwing down a Ghost Academy to try and counteract those High Templars. And looks like in the meantime a drop coming in to White Raw's base. Looks like Marine Marauder drop, going to be able to take out 1 Zealot and pick off some probes here. White Raw trying to keep BratOK trying to keep White Raw on his toes as these Zealots doing massive damage. Needs to micro a little bit better. Take out maybe this Zealot. You can take it down. He's at 1 HP. Oh my goodness, he just brought 2 Zealots down to single digits. Meanwhile, this army forcing White Raw to be a little bit more on edge there. So that drop, I don't know if I would classify that as successful, but certainly at least a little scary. And BratOK might be a little bit scared of this army here, as he is throwing down 2 barracks and bunkers and retreating. Meanwhile, heavy Marine force moving out for BratOK, maybe trying to do some more harass. So you see Zealot legs are finished, and it looks like the amulet being researched for the High Templars, so that as much damage can be done to this army as possible. Looks like BratOK able to scout that there was the charged Zealot down with just that 1 Marine, and I'm interested to see. I'll try to keep my eye on that drop as it moves closer to White Raw's base. But White Raw with a heavy number of Zealots and quite a few High Templars here. Looks like BratOK does have a couple of ghosts out. These EMPs need to be spot on. It looks like White Raw is moving into this base. EMPs need to go down. There goes 1 down, taking out 2 High Templar storms. That is key for BratOK. It looks like a storm going down, doing quite a bit of damage for BratOK, but he's trying to chase this off. that concussive shell, allowing him to snipe off just a few of these units, and an Archon warping in, 2 Archons warping in for White Raw, and more High Templar coming down as he looks like the amulet research is done, so he will be able to storm as much as he can. But oh my goodness, this drop going down back here, making all these pros had to stop mining, and it looks like White Raw is pushing in because of that drop. Looks like a couple of EMPs did maybe go down. Needs to throw down some more on these High Templar, but a big storm going down these bunkers, tanking a lot of damage for BratOK. Like to see either Force Fields or Guardian Shields go down, but I think those EMPs doing a lot of damage, and that storm taking out quite a few of those SCVs. Looks like BratOK will be able to defend this, pulling off some SCVs to clean this up, and in the meantime, this drop has done so much damage to White Raw. Just these Marines doing so much damage, and a great storm there going down. Looks like he count quite a few Zealots, and now BratOK in a commanding lead, 89 food to 48 food, so White Raw in a really bad position as all of these SCVs are back here. Looks like BratOK is going to pick this up and see if he can do some more damage here. Where did all those SCVs go? It looks like I've selected a lot more than that, but and somehow SCVs magically pop out of there. I've never seen that before. BratOK doing a little bit of harassment there, and that command center is going down. Great macro here from BratOK. As you can see, looks like he did get a +1 upgrade and the second +1 on the way. BratOK in a clear lead, and that planetary fortress going down as the medevac just retreats. White Raw really behind here, needs to keep up on his macro, and BratOK in a commanding lead. Checking out for these expansions, making sure no hidden expansion is going down. Even has a Marine here to see that this third has not been taken yet, and blocking off here for any kind of harassment. BratOK is thinking of it all currently, and keeping up on his macro is going to be really important as he has a pretty sizable army here. If we take a look at the unit counting station, oh wow, BratOK in a clear lead for those SCVs, 57 to 48, plus all the mules that Terran have the ability to drop, and a pretty big army here. Looks like that 4-gate and trying to trick his opponent didn't work as well as he would like it to, and BratOK just in a commanding lead. Expect to see these ghosts and heavy Marine force here. Not very many Marauders left because of the Zealots, and it looks like he is scanning. Going to be able to move down here, and a great EMP going off, taking out all these shields, and absolutely no storms left. And there's White Raw calling the GG. So a great game between two great players here. White Raw having a hard time in the second game, and I'll be interested to see how the third game plays out. Once again, guys, my name is Janitor. Looking to do a lot more of these casts, and if you like what you see, please, I ask you to subscribe and give me some feedback. Let me know what you think, and yeah, so thanks for watching, guys.